This is the Stars and Stripes in 7, your online source for editorially independent news and information for the U.S. military community. I'm Lamont Easter. The military has reiterated an appeal for information on the whereabouts of a Fort Bliss soldier who went missing 18 months ago. Despite numerous searches and intensive investigative efforts since then, investigators have yet to uncover any credible information regarding the disappearance of Private Richard Halliday. The 22-year-old was last seen at the Texas base on July 23, 2020, shortly after being disciplined by his unit for violating orders, according to military officials and Halliday's family. The U.S. Army Criminal Investigation Division has pursued all credible information, adding that 15 federal, state, and local agencies are continuing the search. A reward of $25,000 is being offered for credible information about Halliday's disappearance. A forensic examination of the soldier's barracks room showed no signs of foul play or suspicious activity. Any information on Halliday's whereabouts can be reported anonymously by phone at 915-586-1700 or online at www.cid.army.mil. The Marine Corps deactivated the Hawaii-based Island Warriors, casing the colors of a battalion that fought in World War II, the Vietnam War, and the global war on terrorism. The deactivation was part of a Corps-wide restructuring under Force Design 2030, which was revamping the service into the lean island hopping force it was in the Pacific Theater during World War II. The battalion was originally activated in May 1942, just 5 months after the Japanese surprise attack on Hawaii that led to America's declaration of war on Japan and Germany. Its troops were on the front lines of some of the most ferocious battles of the Pacific, including the Solomon Islands, Guam, and Iwo Jima. The battalion was deactivated in 1945 for 6 years, followed by more than a decade of non-combat deployments. The Island Warriors fought in Vietnam from 1965 to 1969. The battalion was deployed to Saudi Arabia for Operations Desert Shield and Desert Storm in 1991, following Iraq's invasion of Kuwait. The battalion was also more recently deployed to Afghanistan and Iraq at different times between 2005 and 2011. The storied 2nd Battalion, 3rd Marine Regiment was deactivated during a ceremony at Marine Corps Base, Hawaii. According to the Chief of Naval Personnel, the Navy has opened a fast lane to discharge sailors who refuse a COVID-19 vaccine in order to maximize speed and equity in achieving a fully vaccinated force. Sailors eligible to exit active duty by June 1st and who refuse the vaccine will be discharged honorably under an expedited process, barring special circumstances. To qualify, sailors must be eligible for separation, retirement, or transfer to the reserve on or before June 1st. The discharge process will pause or stop for sailors who get vaccinated and report their status through their chains of command. Sailors who have applied for a vaccine exemption will not be processed, but if denied an exemption, they must start their vaccinations within 5 days or face discharge. Officers who refuse the vaccine but have not yet completed their service obligation may be required to repay their educational expenses at the Naval Academy or through ROTC scholarships. No service member discharged for refusing a vaccine is eligible for involuntary separation pay. The U.S. Army Corps said it will spend $732 million to expand a lock and dam system to help barges more efficiently transport millions of tons of corn, soybeans, and other goods along the Mississippi River. The lock expansion was part of the Biden administration's broader announcement that the Army Corps will have $14 billion from the infrastructure bill and other sources for Florida Everglades restoration, upgrading ports, and improving navigation on major waterways like the Mississippi, among other projects. A second lock will be built next to the one that already exists in Winfield, Missouri. The new lock will allow for two-way traffic and will be bigger than the current one, easing the movement of larger, modern barges. According to the Army Corps, the project is fully funded and will take roughly 5 to 7 years to complete. Upgrading the lock and dam on the 1930s era piece of infrastructure is part of a larger project to improve ecology and navigation. A U.S. Army infantryman and a biomedical equipment specialist will bobsled for their country at the Winter Olympics in Beijing. 30-year-old specialist Frank Del Duca of Bethel, Maine, and 34-year-old specialist Hakeem Abdul-Sabur from Powhatan, Virginia, are among 12 athletes named to the U.S. bobsled team. Both Del Duca and Abdul-Sabur are members of the Army's World-Class Athlete Program, which supports soldiers vying for Olympic team selection. Of the 8 men on the Olympic team, Abdul-Sabur is among the most experienced, having competed in the 2018 Winter Games in Pyeongchang, South Korea, where he finished 21st in the 2-man event and 19th in the 4-man event. The Beijing Games run from February 4th to February 20th. The 2-man bobsled heats will take place February 14th and 15th, and the 4-man event is scheduled for February 19th and 20th. Finally, House lawmakers unanimously voted to bestow a Congressional Gold Medal to a secret U.S. military unit that fooled German troops with inflatable tanks, audio recordings, and other methods of military deception during World War II. The 23rd Headquarters Special Troops and the 3,133rd Signal Service Company, also known as the Ghost Army, was kept secret for more than 50 years until its existence was declassified in 1996, according to the Ghost Army Legacy Project, a nonprofit organization that has been advocating for the unit's national recognition for 7 years. The Tactical Deception Unit staged more than 20 operations, often dangerously close to the front in France, Belgium, Luxembourg, and Germany. The Coast Army is credited with saving approximately 30,000 lives with its tactics that diverted enemy attention from actual U.S. military advances. The Ghost Army Legacy Project said it expects President Biden to sign the bill into law. And that is all for this edition of Stars and Stripes in 7. I'm Lamont Easter, helping you stay connected.